Hey guys, Jason Creel, you're watching The Lawn Care Life. Today I'm going over 5 statements and we're going to play the fact or fiction game. 5 statements about starting a lawn care business, and then I'm going to tell you my opinion on whether these statements are fact or fiction, some common thoughts about what you should do when you start a lawn care business. So if you're starting out, stay tuned. If you've been in the business a while, check my facts here. Give me your opinions in the comments. So let's check it out. All right, number 1, should you, when you start a lawn care business, take out a loan? Well, I'm gonna go with fiction on this one, and not that I'm totally opposed to taking out a loan, but I wanted to at least get you to hear me out and consider why this is worth at least proceeding with caution, I think would be a better way. Most of the time when people succeed or fail in the lawn care business, it's not always dependent on whether they started off with enough money or not, you know. So obviously money helps. I mean, it's nicer if you have the money to get started, but many people have had a lot of success in the lawn care business starting off with very meager amount of money to invest in the business. Okay, I hear people, they start off with just a basic push mower, but they build the business, because the truth is, what's going to probably make you succeed or fail is how well you're able to get customers and to grow the business, to manage the business. And of course, as that happens, the growth happens, you definitely want to upgrade your equipment. But I just think when you take out a loan, it does add a little bit of financial strain. Now, let me say this, I'm not opposed to you taking out a loan. I don't think it's a bad thing to invest in is your own business. It just, again, proceed with caution, understand the risk involved with that. And again, the amount of the loan that you're taking out, and you know, just think, well, what do I need to get this thing going, is something to be considered as well. So like, for instance, if you're just saying, well, I want to go finance a mower at 0% interest or very low interest rate to get started, I don't think that's, you know, a terrible thing to do. I mean, if that mower is going to help you be more efficient, if you feel confident that you're going to be able to get lawns that are going to allow you to use that mower, then that's fine, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you don't have to have a brand new mower to be effective. You can get a used mower and then always upgrade later. So it's just something to consider, that hey, there is a risk involved in starting a lawn business. You might as well say it out loud. I'm taking a risk by starting a business. It may succeed, it may fail. I want to minimize the risk as much as possible, but understand there is risk, and taking out a loan adds a little bit to that risk. Understand the risk before taking out a loan. Number 2, when starting a lawn care business, you should not go after the nicer neighborhoods. I think this one's fiction, and the reason being, I want to share a quick story. I've shared this before, but when I started off, I had a friend that was in the lawn business, and he was telling me about this customer in a high-end neighborhood that wanted some landscaping done. He did some landscaping, and the customer said, you know, that they wanted him to do it, and he was kind of wasn't sure because he was just starting off. But the customer pressed him and said, no, I want you to do this landscaping job. And he was just saying, for him, that gave him some confidence that, you know what, I can do this work in these high-end neighborhoods too. So I would say this, don't be intimidated. It's kind of like if you were a Major League Baseball player and it's your first ever at bat, and look who it's against, a future Hall of Famer. And so what happens? You're probably going to strike out, you know, but you need to at least go in there thinking that you've got a chance. You know, I'm going to get a hit off this guy. So go in there to that neighborhood thinking, you know what, I can do the work in this neighborhood too. I can make this yard look good. I can be reliable. I can do what I need to do to get this customer. Now, I will say this, I've shared this in another video, but sometimes I found that those nice neighborhoods that you think would just be perfect and these people pay top dollar and all that, sometimes those are also the most competitive neighborhoods. So what I've found is that if you'll go to a slightly lesser neighborhood, maybe it's a little bit further out of the way, or for whatever reason is not as heavily targeted by other lawn care companies, you might get more business in that neighborhood. It's like I've used the illustration about fishing. You know, this pond over here is the best pond, but it's also got the most people fishing in it, okay? This pond is not quite as good, but not near as many people fish over here, so I might actually catch more fish over there. So that's how I kind of look at it sometimes. Number 3, when starting a lawn care business, you should start off with very basic equipment like a push mower. I'm gonna say fiction on this one. You start off with what you can afford. What I try to get people not to do is to go out and buy a brand new, you know, the top of the line zero turn mower is $12,000 to $15,000. You know, if you can afford it, like I said, I don't care what you do. But to me, if you only have 4 customers, okay, then to me it's just not necessary to have that. I mean, you could always buy that mower later when you get the customer. So, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessarily ideal to start off with a push mower. And I hope I'm not contradicting anything I gave in answer 1, but a push mower is not the most efficient mower out there. I think that stands to reason. So if you can afford it, I think go ahead and getting some type of zero turn mower will help you be more efficient, because at the end of the day in the lawn care business, when you're cutting grass, efficiency is a huge part of what you're doing, and the equipment you have will make you more efficient. So a nicer blower, you know, a backpack blower is more efficient than a handheld blower. You know, a commercial string trimmer is more efficient than a residential string trimmer. A zero turn mower, more efficient than a push mower. All these things matter in making you more efficient and ultimately making you more money. So yes, if you can afford it, don't start off with a push mower. Start off with a zero turn. If you have to start with a push mower, upgrade as quickly as possible. Number 4, when going into a lawn care business, you should quit your full-time job and go full speed ahead toward lawn care. Now, this one's depending on whether you have a full-time job or not, but I would say if you do, and I give this advice to people, I would say this is fiction. And the reason is not that you can't make it in the lawn care business or that you wouldn't want to, but to me, it just makes sense that, you know, wouldn't you want to, let's just try the lawn business part-time and make sure you're a fit for it and it's a fit for you, okay? So if I've got this income coming in, why don't I start mowing lawns on the side or whatever I'm gonna do and make sure it works? You know, that does a couple things. Like I said, it gives you a taste of this, is this for me or not? And it helps you develop your skills a little bit and gives you that little boost of customer base that will help you make the jump full-time. So let's say you got a full-time job and you're able to pick up 15 customers. Well, those 15 customers may not sound like a lot, but that is enough for you to, you know, get your equipment bought, get your craft settled here, learn what you're doing as far as a skill of mowing lawns, and then, you know, 15 is not a lot, but when you leave, it's better to start with 15 when you leave your job, that is. Better to start with 15 yards than to start with 0. It can make that jump a lot more significant. So I advise people, start part-time if you can. Now, if you don't have a full-time job, then go ahead, run full-time into the lawn care business, and you might even do like I did, get a part-time job to supplement your lawn care business while you build it up. Number 5, you should diversify your lawn care business from the beginning to give you more opportunities to bring in income. So what do I mean by that? You know, so I want to cut grass, but I think, you know what, if I did some weed control and maybe could fix some irrigation systems and did, you know, this, that, and the other, I could get more money coming in from the beginning. I think that sounds like a good idea, but I'm gonna again say fiction. I may have said fiction on all of them, not sure, but if I did, the reason being, when I have tried to focus on more than one thing, it's typically not went well. Okay, I'm not saying that you can't have an idea that I'm going to expand to more than one thing. I think that's different. I think it's when you're starting off, though, in my opinion, if you can get established in one area, let's say it's cutting grass, I want to get my mowing business established, and then later I'd like to expand into X, Y, or Z. Okay, I think that's fine. I think trying to mow and then say, well, I'm gonna go here and do this and do this and do this, and you're just one person that's just starting off, to me it makes you look, from the customer's viewpoint, it's like, well, does this guy really know what he's wanting to do? It looks like he's just kind of out there doing anything he can to make a dollar. So I think it gives you a better image in the customer's eyes. And I think too, if you're just focused on one thing, and let's get that going, get that established, get the money coming in, it'll be easier for you to establish that one thing. And then, like I said, you can always expand into other areas later when you can bring on some help. And you're not as worried about just surviving that first year or two. So let me hear from you guys in the comments. What did you agree with? What did you disagree with? What am I leaving out? If you hadn't done so, subscribe to the channel. I'll continue to provide helpful content for you, and I want you to check out these suggested videos that are popping up now. Thanks a lot.